The image of the United Kingdom as a welcoming land of opportunity is undergoing a dramatic transformation. For years, the message to the world was consistent and clear: bring your talent, bring your drive, and your loved ones could build a life alongside you. But today, that long standing promise has been fundamentally altered for two major groups seeking to enter the UK. For most international students, the ability to bring spouses or children has been abruptly revoked. Likewise, care workers who are the lifeline of the UK's social care infrastructure are now barred from bringing dependents. These aren't minor policy adjustments, these are sweeping reforms aimed at drastically cutting the number of migrants arriving in the country. In this report, we'll break down the new restrictions in detail, outline exactly who is impacted and who remains eligible, and explore what these sudden changes could mean for your future plans to live, study, or work in the UK. If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an important update regarding life in the United Kingdom. Let's begin by examining how these changes have shaken the education sector. For decades, British universities have stood as a beacon of academic excellence, drawing students from every corner of the globe. A significant draw for many postgraduate applicants was the UK's family-friendly immigration policy, which allowed them to pursue their studies while remaining close to their spouses and children. This support system was invaluable, particularly for students undertaking demanding academic programs. But as of January 2024, this vital pillar has been removed. The UK government has introduced a broad ban on dependents for most international students. What does that mean in practice? If you are applying for a student visa to pursue an undergraduate degree or a top master's program, you are no longer permitted to bring your partner or children with you. Your family must remain in your country of origin. This policy shift came into force with almost no warning, appending the plans of thousands of students who had structured their futures around the previous rules. Are there any exceptions to this stringent new framework? Yes, but the list is extremely limited. Only two groups now retain the right to bring dependents. First, students enrolled in postgraduate research programs such as PhDs and other doctorate-level courses are still allowed to be accompanied by family members. Second, students who have been granted full government-sponsored scholarships may also qualify. For everyone else, the journey to study in the UK has become a solitary one. The government's rationale for this move centers around reducing net migration. Officials cited a significant increase in dependent visa applications alongside student visas and argued that the influx was placing unsustainable pressure on public services. This, they claim, justified the restriction as a difficult but necessary step. Yet the consequences extend far beyond immigration statistics. This is not merely about numbers, it's about real lives and disrupted dreams. For countless families, this policy marks the end of a shared vision for the future in Britain. A stark message has now been delivered to mature students and seasoned professionals seeking to advance their careers with a UK master's degree. If you have family responsibilities, you may no longer be welcome. Universities across the UK are now preparing for a noticeable drop in applications from this vital demographic. Individuals who not only bring a wealth of real-world experience but often self-finance their education, injecting significant funds into the British economy. The human toll of this policy shift is steep. It's forcing capable individuals into an impossible choice between educational advancement and staying close to their families. And that's not all. Another key route has been quietly sealed off. Previously, international students had the option to switch from a student visa to a work visa before completing their academic program, often a practical move for those securing job offers during their final months of study. But the government has now closed what it describes as a loophole. Effective immediately, students are prohibited from transitioning to a work visa until they have officially completed their course. This change removes a critical element of flexibility and it requires students to fully commit to their academic program, even if professional opportunities arise beforehand. Now, let's shift focus to perhaps the most controversial policy update: the transformation of the health and care worker visa route. Initially introduced as a solution to severe staffing shortages in the NHS and social care sector, the visa offered streamlined processing, reduced fees, and crucially the right for workers to bring their families. It was, at the time, presented as a gesture of respect and recognition for the essential contributions these workers make. But that recognition has now been sharply withdrawn for a large segment of applicants. Starting March 2024, care workers and senior care workers are banned from bringing any dependents with them to the UK. This includes spouses, partners, and children. The announcement has sent shockwaves through the care industry, which already faces a critical shortage of personnel. It's important to clarify, this policy does not affect all health and care workers. If you are a doctor, nurse, paramedic, or occupational therapist with a valid job offer, particularly within the NHS, you still retain the right to be accompanied by your family. The new restrictions target care workers specifically, a group already grappling with demanding workloads and low pay. The government's reasoning again comes down to numbers. Officials argue that too many dependent visas were being granted, leading to increased pressure on public resources. They frame the move as a measure to prevent abuse and to reorient the visa's purpose solely toward workforce needs, not family migration. Simultaneously, another rule has been enacted. Care providers in England may now sponsor overseas workers, only if they are registered with the Care Quality Commission, the regulatory body overseeing standards in social care. While this aims to protect workers from exploitation and improve industry accountability, the broader impact of the dependent ban cannot be ignored. Care providers themselves have called the decision devastating. The UK social care system is already under immense strain, with more than 150,000 vacancies reported. The sector has relied heavily on international recruitment to meet the growing demand for elder care and support for vulnerable individuals. Removing the right to bring family undermines one of the few compelling reasons someone might relocate across the globe to take on such emotionally and physically demanding work. This policy effectively reduces the care visa to a path for single individuals, only significantly shrinking the pool of potential applicants and deepening the existing crisis. It also creates a troubling two-tier system within the same visa route. A nurse is permitted to be with their family, while a care worker is not. Before spending money or submitting an application, it is absolutely essential to consult the official gov.uk website for up-to-date, visa-specific guidance. For international students, the new landscape is clear-cut. Unless you're pursuing a PhD or are fully funded by a government scholarship, you should prepare to come to the UK alone. This has serious emotional and financial implications that must be carefully considered before applying. In conclusion, what we are witnessing is not just a policy adjustment, it is an ideological shift in the UK's approach to immigration. The recent reforms to student and care worker visas send a decisive message. Access to life in the United Kingdom, particularly with one's family, is no longer a widely available opportunity, but a narrowly defined privilege. For those looking to study or work in Britain, the path forward is now far more complex. The requirements are stricter, the criteria narrower, and the importance of detailed, realistic planning has never been more critical. The welcome mat has been pulled back. In its place stands a system designed not just to manage, but to filter, reduce, and selectively admit. Your ability to succeed under these new rules depends on how well you understand them.